Hello, Ian. Hello, Ian. Hopefully, you should be able to hear me now that I'm actually talking. We're due to start at 8 o'clock. I'm just waiting for Chris to join us as well. Yes, I'm here. Hopefully, you should be able to hear me speaking. If not, I'm not sure why the mic's not coming up, because we should be live. What I'll do is I'll direct add you in, and I will also add Chris so that you're able to actually feedback. And I should have sent you a direct invite now so that you can actually join in. So, Ian, it looks like you've managed to join twice.
How can I be in twice?
It's very clever of you to join twice.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I liked it so much, I decided to split my personality and join you twice. Hiya, Paul.
Hello, Ian.
Oh, dear. It's just been one of those days. Father Christmas has just arrived.
Yeah.
He is real. At least that's what he told me.
Well,
No.
I'm trying to find how I see how many people are viewing, which was on there when I started the Hangout, and as I started adding tools and clicking, they all disappeared. Hello, Chris.
Hi.
Marvellous. We'll get started then.
All right.
Absolutely, as we're all here. Evening, Chris.
Evening.
Okay, so welcome to this demo of Google Classroom. This is a hopefully live and being recorded as a Hangout on air, so it'll go up onto YouTube as well. C-Learning are supporting these whole sets of Hangouts and run a series of other training courses and offer various services with Google Apps. So their website's there for those that want to view it. We will jump straight across into Classroom. And this is a demo setup that I've got running. And I'm currently signed in here as a teacher. And I've got one current class. And I've got a fairly empty home screen at the moment. And this is the class I've already got set up. I'll start off by showing you how we create a new class. So up on the top right here we've got a plus. Click on the plus. I've got the options to join class or create class. Joining allows me, even though I'm a teacher, to participate as a student in somebody else's class. So I'll go ahead and create a class, and we'll call this Wednesday, and click create. And it goes away and it sets me up a class, and it comes up with this beautiful purple background on here, and it's active and ready to go. There's two ways our students can join the class. Either you can give them this code, which is down here on the left hand side, and they can type that in, or we can join them on their behalf. So if we go to students at the top here in the center, and I can invite. If I click invite on here and look in my directory, this lists everybody on my system, and I can pick up anybody I like. So let's just pick up various people and invite them in. And it takes a couple of moments. And there are the people that I've invited to join my class. At the moment they're light grey because they haven't accepted any invitation at all. But they are. I'm just gonna see if I can mute people's mics, just because I'm getting an echo back. There we are. Right. So there's one setting up here at the top where it says students can post and comment, and if I click the down arrow to modify it, I can choose what students do in my classroom. So by default, students are able to post anything they like and make comments on anything that's there. If you don't want your students to be posting things, you can say they can only comment, which is on anything you create as the teacher, or you can say only the teacher can do things. And where these apply to is if we come back to the stream, this stream view here is everything that happens with your class. So on there are announcements, so things that I'm just want to say to my class. Here's some information. Remember to bring your TRIPS forms in tomorrow, and the assignments go on there. And if you want, your students can participate in that stream and put anything you like on there, or they can. You can say they can't do anything at all. I'm just going to come back to my home screen. So up in the top left corner, we've got the three bars. This will give me the option to go to my home screen or my other classes. I'm just going to go via the home screen so you can see my classes are there. I'm going to go into one that I set up earlier, my demo class, because it's got some things already on it for us to look at. So this is my class that I set up. It's got a couple of assignments there that are already set up. It says when they were due. Well, these were due back in August. So the students, if they haven't done it, it'll tell them that it's overdue. And we can see that no people have actually submitted these assignments, and one person hasn't started it yet. Before I show you how to set up the assignments, I'm just going to jump over to a student view so you can see what the students say. So as a student, I see very similar home screen here. The difference is when I click on the three bars in the top left corner, as well as seeing my classes, so there's the demo class, I also have an assignment view. If I go into the assignment view, I can see every assignment from every class that I have to work on. So I can see everything there in one place on my to-do screen, and there's also a done screen that shows me once I've completed. That's my historical record. I'll just go back to the student home, and we'll go back to the teacher, and what we'll actually do is we'll go and create a brand new assignment there. So as a teacher, I'm going to click on the assignment button. It asks me for a title. There we are, Christmas is coming. I can give any instructions at this point. Please complete the document. I can say when I would like it due. So this one, it's defaulting to tomorrow. Well, actually, I'm going to make it due on Friday. I can ask it to come in at a certain time of day. So I'm going to ask for it in at lunchtime. And either I can assign it like this, just as a plain assignment, or I can start to attach things to it. The paperclip allows me to attach a file from my local PC. The triangle is a drive icon, which allows me to attach something from Google Drive. Play button allows me to add a YouTube video. And the chain link is a web URL. So I'm actually going to pick a Drive URL. And what it does is it goes to my Drive on Google. And I can see all of my documents there. And I'm going to pick this document here called Christmas List. And I'm going to add it in as part of my assignment. On the right-hand side of the file, it tells me what the students can do with the file. If I say the students can view the file, when I send this assignment out, the students will automatically get the document shared with them, so I don't have to worry about sharing, and they can open it and they can view it, but they can't do anything else. I can say the students can edit the file, which means that all of the students in my class get the ability to make changes in this single file. Or I can say make a copy for each student. So this is where my file gets used as a template, and every student gets their own version with it a brand new name, which includes their own name in there, and that is their file for them to work on. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a copy for each student, and we're going to assign this. And there we are. That's my assignment set for my students now. If I go to my student view, my student goes into his demo class. There's the assignment Christmas is coming. It's open. If I click on it, it'll load up the assignment details for me. Well, I'm just going to close those tooltips. So here's my assignment. It's a Google document. And these are some buttons I can use to work on the assignment. So as I want to, as a student, submit things back, I can add various different files, either from my Drive or a URL, or upload a file back in for the assignment. I can create something new directly linked to the assignment, and once I'm done, I can click Turn It In. I'm going to open this file up that the teacher sent me. Which it doesn't like because I'm signed into multiple accounts. Let me just sign in as my student on its own. Oh, yeah. The first thing we notice at the top here, the file name, when I originally set it as the teacher, was called Christmas List. It's automatically added on the end of that one student, which is the name of my user account. So if my person was called Fred Smith, it would be called Christmas List Fred Smith. So when I get this file sent back from my student, it will have their name on it, so I can easily identify it. Also, a new button has appeared in Docs. Up in the top right corner, we're used to the Share button and the Comments button. There's a Turn In button. This automatically sends this document back to my teacher. if I look at the sharing permissions on this document, I'm just going to the advanced ones, I can see that this is shared not only with myself as the student, but also with the teacher account there. And the teacher has edit rights over the document as well as the student. So I can write my Christmas list to Santa, click turn in, and as soon as I click turn in, it takes me straight back to Google Classroom. It says my attachment will be submitted. I can add any notes to my teacher. And click turn in. As a student, I can now see my assignment is done. And if I've made a mistake and I want to take it back from my teacher, if I haven't marked it yet, there's an unsubmit button there, so I can bring it back. If I switch back to my teacher view, let me just close some of these windows. I've got too many tabs open at the moment. Just refresh my view as the teacher. Oops. Sign out. So here we are, back in the teacher. I can go to my demo class, and I can see on my Christmas is coming, I've got one done assignment, and if I click on that, it takes me to my assignment list and who sent it in. And I can see the comment there that the student sent me. I click on my student, there's the details, there's their file linked. I can click on the file and see what they've written. And I can give it a grade. Once I've graded it and I'm happy, I can then click return and it will send that grade back to the student. If I want, I can give them any feedback at that stage and return the assignment to them. And that's sent back. If I want, I can download this assignment details or all the assignment details there as well, and it comes down with all the grades. Final thing to show you is if I open a window to Drive Up, Classroom's fully integrated with Google Drive, so not only does it allow you to pick your files in there, but it creates this folder called Classroom. So if I go into Classroom, it's created a folder structure for each of my classes. If I go into Demo Class, I can see, if I go into List View, here are my assignments that I've set the students. So there was Christmas is coming. If I open it up, there's the file that the student worked on and sent to me and I returned. So I can get to any of the files at any time through Drive. So that's a very quick overview of some of the features there within Classroom. And so if you've got any questions, feel free to ask them.
Yeah, Paul, many thanks for that. I'll let Chris sort of have the first question, and then I've got a couple of questions back for you. So, Chris, floor's yours.
Okay, thank you. If you've got Google Classroom, if you've got Google Apps already installed, is this something you can just literally select and download, or is this download to purchase?
So Classroom is completely free. within Google Apps. It's a service that's available within the admin panel. And all you do is go into the admin panel, click switched on, and then any of your teachers or students just need to browse to classroom.google.com and it will set them up and you can start using it.
Okay, so if we wanted to then get our setup, we could literally just do it now.
Yeah,
no problems on there.
By default, the service is switched on.
Right.
So if you go to classroom.google.com, you'll find it. It's there and ready to go.
Okay, that's good to know. No, I can't really think of anything. It looks very straightforward to use. I mean, if it's already integrated with the package we've got, then that's great.
Yeah, it's completely integrated with Google Drive and Google Apps. And where it's been used within the school that I'm based, teachers have just picked it up and run with it. All they've needed to know is where to sign in and how to add a student to a class, and they've gone from there.
Right. Okay. All right. Ian, over to you.
Sorry, Ian, you'll have to unmute your mic. You won't let me unmute you.
Yeah, sorry about that. A couple of questions then. Are you able to sort of bulk import your students for classes, or as opposed to just manually adding them one at a time? I'll ask you a couple of questions. That's one. Second one is, if Chris was creating a class called Wednesday and I created a class called Wednesday, can we have two classes called Wednesday? And the third question is, can Chris and I both be owners or teachers in a shared class if we look after history?
So the first one is... Sorry, I'm just going to... thank you. So the first one, in terms of adding students, if I just go back to my screen share, share that, and bring up demo class. When you go to students here, there's two methods. Either you give them your class code and they type it in themselves, or during the invite, where instead of going to your contacts and picking them out of your global directory, if you have any groups set up, you can click on groups and invite all the people who are a member of a group into your class. There's no way to upload a CSV, I'm afraid, to create that. In terms of naming classes, where I created one called Wednesday here, there's no problems with multiple teachers having classes of the same name. However, it may be slightly confusing to your students which class it is. So that's something within your organisation you might want to stick to your normal class naming conventions on that. But there's nothing stopping you everybody having classes of the same name. The last question you asked therein was about multiple teachers for the same class. At the moment within Classroom, you can only have one teacher per class, and so if you have teachers sharing a class, the suggestion is that they each actually create their own class within Classroom, but if they want to see what each other is doing, then they join as a student to the other teacher's class.
Thanks for that, Paul. Do you know whether the teacher co-teacher thing is going to change in future releases of Classroom? And could you just go back on the groups? Where in the Google Apps for Education are the groups created? Are these groups created in admin, or are they created somewhere else?
So, in terms of the multiple teachers, I haven't seen from Google what their next release track and point's going to be. I know it is a requested feature, and what Google ask is if you want features within Classroom, in the bottom right-hand corner there's a little question mark that allows you to submit feedback, and the development team do monitor that. And watch and read every comment that you put in there for feedback. And so if people would like to have the ability for multiple teachers within one class so that they can share the control of it, they need to be requesting that as a new feature from Google. In terms of the creation of groups, these are your groups for business groups. So either you create them in your admin panel or you create them from within the Groups for Business console, and the people that create them, that permission on creating groups is set by your Google Apps administrator.
Okay.
Go ahead, Chris.
Thanks. So quick question then. If, let's say you've got, like, as we have, one teacher that takes a class that has multiple teachers but for different subjects. So we would have to set up, say, a Prep 5 History, Prep 5 Geography, Prep 5 English, all different groups in order for it to work. But would the child then see, you know, only one screen with all of their assignments on? Am I hearing that correctly?
So, yes, if you've got different teachers for each of those subjects, each teacher would need to set up their own class. For the student, what they would see is on their home screen, they would see all the different classes and they can go into each one by one. But they also have that assignment overview screen, which shows them all of their assignments from all of their classes pulled together.
Yeah. That's fine. That's my main concern, that they weren't trying to cross, especially if we're doing it with younger children. You know, they couldn't multitask and try and pull from so many different places. I mean, I would look at, say, introducing this to years 5 and 6, so I think we'll be able to handle it. But if it was, you know, going to different screens, I think they would find that more difficult. Yeah,
so for your students, whilst they've got the ability to visit each class and look at the class screen, to get them started, I would show them from the home screen just how to get to their assignment list, and they can see their list of assignments there.
Okay, that's good.
Chris, just one question for you. In terms of best practice and advice and guidance on helping set up Google Classroom for your school and for whoever's going to be sort of lead person on it, is there any sort of help, advice and guidance there that you'd look for as a school, or would you be sort of looking to just sort of try it out?
I think we'll be looking just to try it out at the moment. I think myself, Nick Copestick and Adam Beasley, who are our 3 main IT teachers, will probably try it with the older classes. I think once we've done it with some of them, we then look to bring a few more people on board. In terms of actually having any kind of like seminars or webinars like this, I think we'd kind of hang on until we've actually tried it first to see how it actually goes. I think because we, you know, a few of us are quite IT competent, we'd like to actually have a go first.
No, that's good. Thanks for that. Because one of the things we were thinking of doing was including this, obviously, in the normal sort of Google Apps training courses, because I think it's a very useful addition to the tools, because teachers understand the process of giving out homework and getting it back and marking it and commenting on it. So that process is known to all teachers. If this helps make their life easier, then I think the sooner it's sort of introduced, perhaps the more comfortable they'll feel in starting to use the other tools as part of their teaching and learning. Do you agree?
I think that the big thing for us is that talking to our senior schools that we'll feed into, they're going online more, and a lot more of their things online and online. And I think it's just the older children, particularly, then to have that experience of doing these sorts of things. So if they can then have marks on submitted online, marks online, feedback online, and if we get more of the staff doing it, it just becomes good feed up for the children and for us for our knowledge.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a good skill to have and discipline to be able to understand. Okay, no, that's great. Okay, Paul, thank you very much for sort of leading us through that, and Chris, good to see you, up there in Staffordshire. Hope you're not getting blown about too much.
No, it's pretty peaceful here at the moment, thankfully.
Okay, well, I'll be driving past on the M6 tomorrow, so I hope it's quiet on the roads as well.
Yeah. All right then.
Thank you both for joining. We'll speak soon.
Thank you, Paul. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.
It's very